Extra Minutes.
Well, welcome to our very salubrious surroundings. We're trying to write a story for this Sunday night on the very tragic story of Jill Meagher and the sentencing of Adrian Bailey, the man convicted of raping and murdering her. He went to jail this week for 35 years, so hopefully he won't be out of jail till he's a very, very old man. Well, there's no chance of that, is there? This is Stephen Taylor, my producer, who's working much harder than me.
I don't think so, never. The thing about Adrian Bailey, he's an evil, horrible man, but the thing about it is that he has raped women 22 times before.
Yeah, as outrageous as it is, though, I think what's even perhaps more frightening is that he's not alone. He's not even a rare case, that people like Adrian Bailey are out there amongst us, and some of them attack again and again and again. And in our story, we look at that, exactly that. A young woman, Sarah Kafiki, who was murdered 2 months after Jill Meagher, and murdered by a repeat offender, somebody who had served time for murder in the past. He was out, he'd breached his parole, so was the allegation. The authorities had done nothing. He was now just 9 days off parole when he murdered Sarah. And again, the family says if the authorities had done what they should have done, he would have been in jail and therefore robbed of the opportunity to kill again.
And for that part of the story, Tara interviews Sarah's mum, a wonderful woman called Noelle Dixon, and it's absolutely a gut-wrenching interview to sort of hear the pain of this woman who's lost her only child. Beautiful 22-year-old Sarah's a beautiful woman in the most terrible of circumstances, and it just shouldn't have happened. And hopefully our story and the other stories that have been done this week about Jill and over time Sarah's case and others, will hopefully add to the pressure that needs to be placed upon the corrections departments, the parole boards around the country and the like, to at least review the way the systems work. There's a man in our story that Tara interviews called Charlie Bazzina, who's a former homicide detective down in Victoria, who's been on the job for 38 years or something. He's investigated and solved too many crimes to mention, but he has the view that repeat offenders, there are some of them in the serious categories that you can't rehabilitate, and so we need to think about as a society what we're going to do with people like that.
Yeah, I think, and Charlie basically says that the gatekeepers, the parole board, need to be a little more accountable. They need to be explaining to the families of victims why these people have been let out. What was your reasoning? Why did you think Adrian Bailey was safe to be on the streets? And he makes the point that most of us are accountable for our decisions, but you can't actually get any insight from the parole board on how they come to their conclusions. So yeah, it's a very sad and just a very sad story, which we actually have to get on with because it's only partly written and Sunday is fast approaching. So we've got to get this into editing. So that's the next step. We finish writing, put a voiceover down, and then Shane, our fine editor, crafts it and makes it look as good as possible.